Are you an LP investor in a multifamily syndication? Are you maybe dealing with capital calls or potential losses? Are things going to get worse before they get better? Or maybe is there a silver lining somewhere? If you're asking any of these questions right now, I'm going to answer them in this video and show you how you can survive and thrive in 2024. My name is Michael Blank, and I help people become financially free through real estate. So if you're an LP investor in the syndication, or maybe you're even an operator, you're probably dealing with potential losses. You're having to deal with capital calls, higher interest rates, expiring rate caps, things of that nature. Now, what's happened is valuations are way down from March of 2022 was kind of a peak. It was a very clear peak, a very well-defined peak, and it went away because of the 11 interest rate hikes. You can literally mark it in the market. Now, investors that have invested in real estate with floating rate debt, that could be value add deals or construction loans, and we're all going to have our hands full, right? And so interest rate caps are starting to expire. There may be capital calls, and the operator's running out of time and options to refinance. Some deals are now even trading below the loan balance. So if you're in one of those deals, you're probably not feeling that great about. You're really kind of just focused on defense, and maybe you're scared of losing part or all your investment. Maybe you're optimistic, but you're uncertain, right? How do you deal with all that stuff that's coming? All this reminds me of 2008 when single-family houses collapsed. I know big investors who had big for portfolios. They lost everything in foreclosures, were personally guaranteed. It was awful. I also know individuals who dabbled in real estate and bought a single family house, the first time ever, and they lost it. And so their lesson was that real estate is bad. They vowed never to invest in real estate again, but that's the wrong lesson. And it's kind of similar right now. You can't let fear govern you. If you're in an investment or someone who's kind of freaking out right now, don't do that. The lesson is not that syndications or multifamily is bad, right? You have to understand the root cause of what caused those things. But at the same time, I see the opportunity coming. So that's why I got into house flipping in 2009, right? I saw that there was this giant opportunity, a huge gap between retail prices meaning these are non-REOs or fixed up places, and the wholesale price, the REOs. There was this huge gap. You can buy a house for $80,000, in the DC, Maryland area where I used to live. $80,000, put $30,000 into it, so you're $110,000, and you're selling it for $180,000. And that's when I said, man, I need to raise money. I need to flip as many as I could. Now, in hindsight, I wish I would have gotten into apartments. Okay, that would have been much more lucrative. But for me, it was an opportunity I saw, and I see something similar forming right now. And the lesson for me at the time was to buy underpriced assets, single-family house in this case, while there's still blood in the streets. There was a huge supply of REOs at the time, foreclosures and bank-owned properties, but also people were buying these things. And that's kind of what Warren Buffett loves. I love this. He buys assets with strong fundamentals when they're temporarily undervalued. And then on the other hand, he sits on the sidelines when the markets get frothy. He missed the internet craze, right? He's criticized for that. In hindsight, of course, he was smart in the early 2000s when he didn't get into any tech stocks, and he hasn't bought any cryptocurrency. Like, question is, old school or smart, right? And so it's similar right now. It's right now to stay cool and really study what's going on in the market right now. So 2024 is really going to offer incredible buying opportunities. Yes, is there some distress in there? So if you are an investor in a syndication, for example, are you experiencing distress? Yes, you may be experiencing distress right now, but you have to realize there's opportunity coming up as well. So first one, investing is profitable, but it can also mean there's risk, right? So you may be losing part or all of your investment right now, and that's part of the game. But while you may be losing part of investment right now, pay attention to what's going on in the market, right? It's really a portfolio approach over time. You have to look at the overall fundamentals of the investment class that you're in. And multifamily has been recession resistant for decades, and there's nothing that's changing about the fundamentals right now. So what I mean by that is that there's still strong demand for affordable housing. There's still a housing shortage. You can't really build affordable housing anymore. You can build Class A, but you can't build affordable. Rents in 2024 are predicted to be relatively low. Rents have gone up incredibly from 2022 specifically, and they've calmed down in 2023. So they're going up between 1% and 3%, which, by the way, was when in the old days, rents went up 1% to 3%. It's going to be that kind of year. But we're going to see the lending market stabilize as interest rates stabilize and maybe come down a little bit. That will thaw up the lending market, and the loan to values will go up. Some of the restrictions, the criteria are going to relax a little bit, and you're going to see that giant bid-ask spread close. So the ask spread between what sellers want and they're still caught up on prices from March of 22 and what they'll actually accept. You're also going to see some distress, and that action is going to happen in the off-market space between operators, where operators in distress are trying to work something out with other operators, or pref equity, or most likely with banks, so loan modifications, approval, or short sales. So there's going to be opportunity, and as always, you have to be, as an investor, you have to be discerning. You have to pick the right operator and ask the right questions to make smart decisions. And so this means that you should be talking to the right operator right now, right? Get on the phone with them. Maybe you haven't talked to them in a while. Maybe you've even invested with them. And here's the thing, it's going to expose the strong operators from the weak ones right now, but even the strong ones have to deal with their floating rate parts of their portfolio right now. And so if you are part of an operator, they're going to get through this. Okay, the weak ones are not. They're going out of business, and you will read about them in the paper. So talk to your operator right now. We'd love to have that conversation with you. Go to nighthawkequity.com/call and just schedule a call with us. If you haven't talked to us or in a while, then get on the horn again and see what we have going on. We'd love to have you be part of what's the opportunity that's coming in this year. So this does remind me a lot of 2008. I do think it's going to be an enormous wealth creation opportunity for us. So make sure you don't miss it. Talk to you next time.